Welcome back to Bruins Game Reactions. Boston Bruins win 3-2 in regulation, barely in regulation, over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Kind of the tale of two games, really. Boston came out in the first period, 2 goals in the first 7 minutes, 1 on the power play, 1 by David Pastrnak. So he extends his point streak to 17 games now. And the other by Mason Lohrei, that one being on the power play. That's a great goal, by the way. And, yeah, Boston gets out to an early lead. And on that power play, before the goal, Brad Marchand goes down with an injury. Pierre-Olivier Joseph gets in behind him. You could call it boarding. Doesn't really get him in the numbers, though, unfortunately, to make it boarding. Man, Marchand's getting banged up at the end of this season here, like, badly. It sucks to see. He's gone down. He took a tumble on home ice a couple games ago. Obviously, tonight's injury, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was one more just before the 2 games. Just before the Four Nations face-off as well. He's been getting bullied out there, unfortunately. They're not bad plays, though. They're just bad luck, really. And unfortunately, that's not something that is needed for this team. Already missing your top pair based on ice time, defensemen. You don't need your second highest point getter going down either. And yeah, thankfully Boston's able to rally around that, hold off their 2-goal lead right till the end of the third period. After the first 10 minutes, it was kind of just a back and forth game. Boston had a few chances. Nothing really going. Pittsburgh had a few chances. Again, nothing really going. That Mason Lohrei goal in the first period. Right off the post. Beautiful shot. And gets it in. Off of just an absolute ripper from the low circle. Sorry. Yeah, that was kind of it. The first 10 minutes were really exciting. Next 40 weren't really. And then minutes start ticking by. Heading into the final half of the third period, Pittsburgh's still down by 2. And Boston might be getting away with one here. Although it is Pittsburgh, they start applying a bit of pressure. And they are able to get one. 6 minutes to go. The Pittsburgh Penguins are able to get one off of a great play by Anthony Beauvillier. Shorthanded as well. Kevin Hayes was going down the ice, had 2 Bruins on him. Should be a good thing. Can't quite drive the net, so he stops up, sends the puck to Beauvillier, trailing behind. And Korpisalo wasn't ready for it. Unfortunately, that's as simple as that. And yeah, that allows Anthony Beauvillier to get one and get the Penguins on the board with just under 6 minutes to go. Few more minutes go by, under 2 minutes left in the game. Just over 2 minutes left in the game, right? No, minute 34 left. Cole Koepke takes a bad penalty, high sticking, double minor. Would have carried over into OT if this game got there. Man, just a tough penalty to take, unfortunately. So late in the game as well. Not one you want to see. Charlie Coyle is able to get an empty netter, though, as the Penguins were up 6-on-4. And you think that's it, but the Penguins aren't dying. Unfortunately, not that easily, at least. And they are able to bang one more in before the end of the game. But that does do it for the game. Boston ends up coming out of there with a win, 3-2. Pavel Zacha, I believe, had assists on the first 2 Bruins goals, had 2 points. Obviously, Mason Lohrei, I love seeing that. 5 points in his last 4 games, I believe. A goal and 4 assists. He's been red hot. And then obviously the man himself, David Pastrnak, continues to be electric for this team. Now will be over a 100 point per game. No, just under 100 points per game. Just under the pace for 100 points on the season. There it is. Yeah. I mean, Korpisalo played well. I'm not going to really put either one of those 2 goals on him. Maybe the first one you want him to have. Nothing really he could have done on the second, unfortunately. Mason Lohrei? No. Matthew Poitras did return tonight. I would love to see the bruise on that guy's stomach, because I'm willing to bet that there is one, and it's going to be pretty big. How he's still playing, we might get to the end of the season and we might find out he played the final 23 games with a broken rib. Who knows? Yeah, this is a guy who wants to be in this lineup. I want to see them run a kid line. You got Merkulov up, who played well in his, I think, one of his first NHL games. You got Matthew Poitras already up here. Just call up Fabian Lysell, run us out a kids line, let them sink, let them swim, they'll figure it out. Let this be the big 3 line of the future. You had Marchand, you had Bergeron, you had Pastrnak. Who's going to be who on that line? I don't know. Way too early to tell. Matthew Poitras might end up being the Bergeron. This kid has amazing assists. Man, that if they can run that line out, as I mentioned, Fabian Lysell not having the best year in Providence, Merkulov is just under a point per game, and then Matthew Poitras has obviously been in the NHL for the majority of this season. Gotta give him a chance. Like, you got 23 games here. If you don't do anything at the trade deadline, which I hope you don't, because either stay as you are or sell, which if you're selling off the roster, then that's the move you should go to. Give the kids a chance. Let them show you what you got. Because at least then you know, earlier on than next season, what your chances are, roughly. But yeah, I think I hit all the big points in that game, really. Alex Nedeljkovic gave up a goal on the first shot again. He's not been great off the first shots. I believe 23 of their past 40 games, the Pittsburgh Penguins have given up a goal in the first 3 shots of a game. Three or 4 shots. Goaltending's a tough situation for Pittsburgh right now. But yeah, overall I kind of think that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like. Click subscribe if you enjoyed. And yeah, back at it tomorrow against Minnesota. That might be a must-win game. After everything that's gone on with Charlie McAvoy and the ill handling of that entire situation, that's a must-win game. At the very least, take your pound of flesh.